Well, hello again, everyone. Hope we're all doing very, very well out there. And maybe if you're not, maybe this entire update will give you something to look forward to and kind of help you make a better day out of things. But a lot of things to talk about. It's been kind of an up and down month to a certain degree. Got a lot of stuff done early in the month, but it's been kind of a nowhere zone for a little bit of a while here since Steve and I record our next batch of commentaries, which we released the commentary for House of Wax, a 2005 film from Dark Castle Entertainment. Went over pretty well enough, but I think if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out, give it a chance and everything like that, because we had some really nice discussions about a film that's maybe not the best thing in the world, but kind of interesting discussion about various things involved with the film, with some of the stars of the entire thing, and the special effects especially, and various other things. So I thought we had a very engaging, entertaining commentary about the ins and outs of the entire film there, and we did record the first two episodes of the 1994 Stephen King's The Stand miniseries. We recorded both of those. They'll be coming out next week. I haven't actually even gotten around to processing them yet because I've been so jammed up with a lot of different things going on, with a longer work schedule and various other things happening, which I'll discuss later on in this whole thing. But that's not be coming out. So I haven't 100% figured out exactly what the release schedule is going to be, because we haven't yet set a schedule for when we're going to record the second two episodes, the back half of the miniseries. And so we'll have to figure that out in due time and whatnot. But I'll do some chatting with Steve over the weekend on text and whatnot and figure out when we can land on a date or whatnot and try to get these released in kind of a tight format to a certain degree. So definitely the first two episodes will be up on Patreon first. Be able to get both those at the same time. Then we'll release episode 1, then we'll release episode 2 shortly thereafter. But I figured, Steve was saying we just drop both of them at the same time. But I was like, okay, people will listen to episode 1, then probably get around to episode 2. So I figured, we put episode 1 out, then kind of maybe even just a day or two or something like that, and then drop 2 to kind of give people a little bit of a head start on things. Then 2 drops in, and then people will start going after 2. Because if we drop 1, and then it's a day or 2 before anyone's even checking out 2, then it kind of hurts the performance of the video. If it's kind of really lagging out, not getting views, it kind of hurts it. So I figure, do a little bit of a staggered release schedule on that thing, just to kind of give it a little a breather in between and whatnot, and make sure people get up on episode 1 and can all jump on episode 2 when it drops in that regard. So, cool things in that regard. So, once again, we figure out when we record things for August, which will be, again, those 2 episodes, and a 35th anniversary commentary for Darkman. We'll figure that out. We haven't figured out what we're doing for September yet, but we got a plethora of different things we can just throw together and put out there. We got probably a good 4 or 5 different titles we can just probably throw in there. Maybe more than that. Just whatever whatever we feel like throwing together when we get together to record next. We'll just throw it together, say, hey, this is September. October is already always spoken for. Because there was an idea that we had, because someone threw this out there kind of months and months ago, about doing a Devil double feature to a certain degree, because we decided we were going to do commentaries for House of the Devil, which I haven't watched yet, but it's easy to find on streaming and everything like that, and Late Night with the Devil. Both of these are going to hit in October. We're going to do that whole thing, because I guess I was looking at, I think it's Ty West is the director of the whole thing. I'm pretty certain of the first film, House of the Devil. And his birthday is early October. And then, of course, we got Late Night with the Devil, which takes place on Halloween. Don't know if we'll stretch out that far. We'll just figure out where it is, but it feels like we got some good stuff going. We got some ideas in that regard, and right now that's just about, I think, all we have planned for the next several months. So September is a blank zone right now, but we'll figure it out pretty easily. And we got some other things kind of maybe falling in the line November, December, but that's very, very nebulous at this point in time. But also got the review out for Nighthawks a couple of weeks ago, which I was very happy about. I thought it came out very, very well. Hopefully it seemed like a lot of people enjoyed me discussing the film, and some people having some different opinions about the entire thing, but we think we all had a nice civil discussion about what we enjoyed about the film, appreciate about the film, but some people felt like maybe it was a little overhyped for them when they went into it. So it's a nice array of different opinions and stuff like that. So it was a nice piece. I really liked putting that one together, and I did actually buy the Keith Emerson soundtrack up on iTunes, because I couldn't stop with that soundtrack. It was so hot. God, I loved it so much. But I got some other media pickups here. I got a new album that came out. I got some Blu-rays and various other things to discuss in due time. But I had to put together a cheat sheet because there's a lot of stuff going on in this whole thing. But what I'm working on right now, because I want to make sure I got this shot before I did the update thing. And so I shot a brand new retro video series episode because there's an idea I was kind of throwing around last month in June about, because I was looking at my DVD collection, just looking at stuff and peering around. I was like, it's Lethal Weapon Director's Cut DVDs. It'd be kind of interesting because the 4K is kind of restored both versions, theatrical and director's cut type of thing. And there's a whole thing behind whether or not they're actually approved by Richard Donner or whatnot, which I very much go into in the actual video itself and the research pitfalls I fell into. But I shot it last night, so it's all shot. I got to do a lot of work on it in terms of, like, I got some B-roll footage done. I got to rip some other footage from some other films that are related to Richard Donner's filmography, discuss in that regard. And but there's a lot of stuff to go for. But it should be pretty breezy episode to that degree. So the thing was, the last 2 weeks I've been jammed up with a lot of stuff. Like I said, my work schedule got extended, and then I had like days off. But like I can only like do like anything like for half the day because I had other things I had to attend and stuff like that. One of them ended up being a couple of concerts I went to. I'll talk about later, whatnot. But so I like had like maybe half the day to myself. Then I got to go off to the city and do this, that, and the other thing. So haven't had a real sustained amount of time and more than like one day off at a shot to really kind of commit myself to doing anything kind of highly involved in that regard. So I felt like I was trying to find something that's kind of light and easy to kind of slip into because I watched the director's cut for the first film back on Christmas Eve, so that was still kind of prevalent in my mind about what I thought about it. I felt like, 2 and 3 I can easily kind of dip into and see what the extended stuff is and how it affects the film and stuff like that. So it was easy enough to get into once I actually kind of got my energy levels wound up to a certain degree. But retro video series stuff, because we got that. And I saw today there's actually a trailer release because, as I was mentioning sometime earlier in previous updates, that this was the 30th anniversary of the release of the film Apollo 13. And I wanted to do a video talking about the IMAX version that was put out back in the day, where they had to trim a lot of the footage out and they altered the aspect ratio on the film. But I wasn't quite feeling it at the time in June when that would have been the exact 30th anniversary. Well, it's coming back out to IMAX. Now, this would obviously not be the same version. And it would probably still have the adjusted aspect ratio, but it wouldn't be able to cut down stuff because now it's all just digital format type of things. You don't have to worry about the runtime. So that's going to be hitting theaters in September, like mid-September or so. So gives me another thing to maybe like hinge it on. Like, okay, it's coming back out in the theaters. It's going to go out in the IMAX. Be kind of a nice thing to kind of tie it into that regard, so I could kind of get it off that way. So people are like saying, hey, you're going to go see it in IMAX. Like, well, this was the original IMAX version. It was a very different construction of the film that cut out a whole bunch of stuff because the limitations of the format at the time. So think about kind of rescheduling that for that point in time and kind of getting myself more, be able to do enough prep ahead of time and do that in that regard. So it kind of gives me a second window beyond where the actual 30th anniversary theatrical release date was. So, interesting thing in that regard. And beyond that, I did want to mention the fact that since I was mentioning the October commentaries, I do already have at least 2 videos planned for Forever Horror Month. One of them is going to be probably getting around to Angel Heart, because I was kind of mentioning it a couple updates ago about planning to get into it when I was doing the Prophecy one. I was going to do Angel Heart, then the Prophecy. I was having a lot of problems kind of getting into the meat of the film. Because there's not, like, all the bonus materials on the disc, they're not all that kind of interesting about how the film was made. And it wasn't really kind of that substantive. Maybe the audio commentary has more stuff on it, but I felt like the featurettes were just not doing it for me, and I just couldn't quite get as much juice out of the entire, like, behind the scenes and all that type of stuff, and the filmmakers' theories and stuff like that. I felt like I was kind of wasn't fully entrenched in how I want to feel about the film. So, as my fallback would be, this is based on a novel, I figure, well, I've got it. I put it up on my wish list on Audible. Whenever I get around to deciding I want to go back to do some audio books or whatnot, I'll be grabbing the audiobook that the film was based on, called what was it? Falling Angel. So, from William Hortzberg, whatnot, however you pronounce it. But I'm thinking about getting up on that. I think if I can kind of go through the novel, it kind of gives me a little bit of a basis to talk about certain things like what concepts were changed and where were things from the actual author or whatnot, and kind of maybe stem up from that regard. Same other things like I did with like Exorcist 3 or whatnot, or the Retrovier series thing I did it for like the 13th Warrior. So it gives me another basis to kind of stem off from. If I can't really dig up as much stuff about like the gritty details of how the film was produced and kind of made and all the little things going on in that regard, maybe I can kind of stem off from more the thematic literary end of things and kind of jump off in that regard. So I'll throw that into my research as the months go on and get into that in that regard. I don't think it was a terribly long audiobook. Felt like when I looked at it, it was not a laborious runtime. A little under 8 hours. That's all right for me. I can manage that, because if it's a really good book and it's a really good audio narrator, I can zip through that in like a week, no problem. Because I have done that. Like in recent times, there's a memoir from someone I was going through. It's like, this is just, I can't stop listening to this damn thing. Like, I had to keep going back every fucking day. I just put it on for hours. Like I had to zip through it, no problem. So sometimes if it cooks you enough, you got no problem running through it. But it's kind of like, you kind of like, oh, I'll pause that and I'll maybe get back to that and stuff like that. So it's all dependent on various things in that regard. But as I said, there's a lot of things. I was kind of going to see a lot of concerts lately, and now, honestly, Prince band HEMI came back to the stage last Thursday at the Livewire Lounge in Chicago, and I went off to support the guys because I hadn't seen them in so long. They really hadn't been on stage for quite some time, and they've been working on new recordings, new albums, new singles, and so they did debut a brand new song, Age of the Fall, at the show, which I grabbed a little iPhone footage of, and gave it to them. I was like, if you want to use it, go ahead and use it to promote the whole thing. If you think it's a good enough performance that can represent the whole thing. Otherwise, whatever the case is. But it was just kind of something I felt like a little something extra for them to kind of wrap their marketing around in a certain way to kind of give a little teaser if they wanted to. If not, no problem whatsoever. But I got a couple of photos here and there, and they had another professional photographer there, so really got a lot out there. And there's a lot of faces at the show that I hadn't seen in a long, long time. And it was really nice to catch up with everyone and see people and catch up with Trent, and because he's been going through some difficult times. There was a loss in the family, and he's been kind of grappling with things here and there, and I caught up with him, and we really kind of hit heart to heart and everything like that. So it was nice. I want to go out there to support him and the band and catch up with everyone, because whenever I'm with those guys, it's just a really, really good time. They're really good friends, just really good people to be around, and they just kind of alleviate anything that's a stress going on, and especially with me, but hopefully that works for them as well, getting together and having a good time and celebrating and various other things, so kind of veering away from the heavier stuff in life and just having a good time. So it was very much extremely worthwhile to go off and see them and have a good time, and awesome stuff. Awesome. Great set they put together. Just everyone was really floored by what they did on stage that night, and I hope they see more of them in due time. And they got a few more things to kind of iron out with the single they're working on, but hopefully they'll be out in a couple weeks here and there, whatnot. But I'll keep you updated. It drops before the next update I do on the channel. I'll definitely let you guys know to go check it out and everything like that. So there's that. And the other one I went to was just about two nights ago on Tuesday. The Warning came to town, and it was a whole thing like, I saw them 2 years ago. They were at the Bottom Lounge, which is a pretty decent location, whatnot, but this time they went to the Riviera Theater. And apparently, from what says on Wikipedia, this holds 2,500 people, and they sold the place out. And this thing was packed. This was packed, like, whoa, packed. I went with the general admission thing, which is just on the floor, there's no seats, and you kind of get crammed in together. It's like more and more people kept showing up later into the night, and they kept trying to cram into the front, because as you'll see from the photos and stuff like that, and here or there in the video clips, that that wasn't too far. There's one thing is like the fucking wide angle lens on the iPhone I have, iPhone SE. It's like makes it seem like a much further away than I am. That was a decent enough thing, and they had an elevated stage on this venue, so that helped as well. But people kept cramming in. It's like I couldn't move for fucking inches. I just like had no space whatsoever. I'm like right at the edge, the actual general admission floor or whatnot. So it was like comfort level wasn't terribly high, but still, LA, Pow, and Danny just delivered like living crazy. And apparently, Pow was having some voice issues, and so she did sing at least one song from the new album, "Keep Me Fed," a song called "Sharks." She was doing some backup vocals here and there, but there's one particular scream in the song "Evolve." It's like, okay, that's probably gonna kill her voice. So Danny was saying like, hey, she's been having some problems with the voice, no voice problems, and we need you to help out. There's one big scream, and if you guys know what I'm talking about. When it comes up, I need you guys to jump in and help out and do that type of thing. So, great type of stuff. And it was just a really fantastic show. It's like, they sound fantastic on stage. It's like, awesome. Just, and this, it was just like, the previous video was much more like just kind of a bar venue to a certain degree, but this one is like a real fucking theater. Like, this is a classic staple of Chicago entertainment. The Riviera Theater apparently found out Pantera's video for Walk back like 30 plus years ago was shot at that theater. So legendary theater in that regard. And it just looks wonderful. And they just had everything punched up. So it's a bigger stage. It's a bigger venue. And you can get the light show going on and all the different things. Like, it's just a way bigger presentation. Because if you see in this stuff when they're down in Mexico playing these big like stadium shows to a certain degree, it's like they're Metallica or something else like that. It's like, it's that big and that ravenous and stuff like that. It's like, it's just like the biggest show possible. And so this brought it down into this entire thing where you just get great presentation overall. And like I said, the sound is incredible and just like everything to do. Top of them, they're just like absolutely well-oiled machine, absolutely exciting and just punchy and everything like that. Awesome stuff. I did grab a number of I did shoot iPhone video for a number of songs and the whole thing, but never happened before. But apparently on this time, uploading all this stuff to YouTube, most of them got tripped the content ID and they got blocked worldwide. I only got 2 of them through, where one is still partially blocked in some countries, one passed without any problem. So, up on my other channel, my personal channel, whatnot, you can watch 2 of the videos from the entire thing. The rest of them did not make the pass, so I couldn't release them, so nothing I can do. I mean, there's no real kind of like copyright appeal I can really do or anything like that. It's like, okay, it's not fair use. I don't have a license for the thing. It's not public domain. It's just like, what am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. So it's not that crucial, whatnot. So fortunately, I couldn't get that much out. So there's that. But the thing is, okay, if you guys haven't seen The Warning, if you're not that familiar with them, they're releasing a concert film next month in cinemas on August 21st, and it's going to be like 7 o'clock engagements for a couple of nights, quite a few nights, and the day afterwards they're dropping a double live album, like 2 CDs, like 2 LPs, anything like that. They're putting it out, and it's like, I already got my ticket for the concert film at my AMC theater, and thankfully I bought the ticket the day after. Apparently the day after, when I was on Fandango, it's like, oh, if you pay with Apple Pay, you can use this coupon and get $5 off. Like, damn right. So I got that. So it's an evening showing I got for $10, which is pretty killer. So I'll be checking it out. There wasn't that many people have bought them yet, but I'm sure as the weeks go on, you'll probably get a congregation of people want to, because, I mean, 2,500 people went to the fucking show. I'm sure a couple of them will want to go to the concert film, because this is from Mexico City and everything like that. It's like right in the heart of the hotbed, the groundswell, because these girls are just like almost like national heroes, like so skyrocketed over the last 10 plus years, and they're so amazing and they're so good, they're so talented, and they just know exactly how to bring it every single time. So definitely, if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out when this concert film hits theaters. You will not be disappointed, absolutely, because if this show at this theater rocks the house, something that's done in that kind of big auditorium out there, and a big concert film and widescreen, everything like that, it's gonna blow the fucking mind off of people. It's like, I can't wait to see this. I've never gone to see a concert film in the theater before, so, but I couldn't pass this up. So they haven't, probably maybe after the theatrical engagement, they maybe announce like a home video release, a Blu-ray or something else like that, but right now it's just the theatrical engagement and the album dropping the day afterwards. So definitely recommend it, guys. Go check them out in any type of way possible. So there's that. And we've got media pickups. And I got some other things to talk about later on that's more kind of just regular creative talk. But anything like that. So start out with this thing, because I think it was on the last update I mentioned I got the Blu-ray upgrade for Terminator the Sarah Connor Chronicles Season 1. Well, thankfully I found a nice offer on eBay for Season 2, and they both have the original slipcovers on them, which is the exact same thing I had for my DVD releases, which I was able to sell off on eBay in less than 24 hours, which is fantastic. So that and my old Blu-ray for Lord of Illusions, since I upgraded to 4K last month, and I've already done a video on the film, so I really don't need a disc that I could rip anything from. So that's a great thing, and I got Season 2 off of best offer thing on eBay, so really good price, and I recouped it selling the DVDs off. So I really got great prices on the whole thing, and again, the recouping makes it almost close to nil in that regard. So really good type of thing. So I did mention before, like, it's been an itching type of thing over the last couple of years of maybe kind of like sitting down, watching both seasons, and trying to produce a video retrospective on the series, because there's certainly a lot of things to say about it, and I haven't watched them in 10 years. I did have an attempt at it, because back when Genesis was being released, theaters, I did videos on all the films in the franchise. I was originally shooting it as a complete one video retrospective thing, but I felt like, oh, this thing's going to be like an hour and a half long. Back then, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. So I kind of chopped them all up and reshot some intros and outros and kind of broke it all up within the span of a week. And I got partially the way through watching the series, the TV series. And I shot some stuff for it, but I felt like, since I really didn't watch the whole thing, I didn't have that much to go for. I kind of decided to scrap that one. So if I end up doing this, it'd be a way better video anyway. So it's something interesting to do, kind of tip off in that regard. So Season 1's kind of truncated. It's I don't even know how many episodes there are on Season 1. Season 2 is a little bit more of a full season. So 392 minutes on Season 1, 975 on Season 2. So a bit of a commitment of time, plus all the bonus features and commentaries and whatnot. So it's something that's on the list. I'm not saying it's happening right away or I'm planning it anytime soon, but I'm thinking about something along these lines and whatnot, a video of that kind, maybe like the Human Target one or something else like that maybe do in the coming months, but we'll see where things land in that regard. And an album that came out recently, because I was really digging on the singles that put out from it, and Bush put out a brand new album called I Beat Loneliness. And I was really high on their album, I think it was The Kingdom, a couple of years ago. They put out during 2020 when things were all locked down and whatnot, but I really dug a lot of that album, and I was really digging on 60 Ways to Forget People and The Land of Milk and Honey. These were really good singles. I was really grooving on them a lot. Really good type of stuff. I was just like, I previewed everything on YouTube Music once it got released and everything. It was like, yeah, I was kind of gave it a few run throughs. It was like one or two run throughs. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm grabbing this thing. I want to get the actual CD because it comes with the full booklet with all the lyrics and everything like that. Once I dig it out of here, there it goes. It went pretty minimal with a lot of things, but they got some nice interior design on the booklet and everything. So really wanted to get with all the lyrics and all the liner notes and stuff like that, because Gavin Rossdale, the mainstay of the band, said this was very much something that was kind of like after he's met so many fans talking to him about what the band's music have meant to them and stuff like that. He really wanted to do an album that kind of shared that with the fans and whatnot, kind of give kind of a love letter back to a certain degree, saying like, hey, I hope all this type of stuff, saying like I Beat Loneliness deals with the depression and various other things, and like a lot of deeper emotions to a certain degree, addressing that with a lot of different these songs like Scars and the title track and the whole thing, and various other things like Love Me Till the Pain Fades. So it's like there's a lot of that catharsis within the lyrics of the entire songs, and it's extremely well produced. I just really dig on the entire vibe of the whole album. I've been putting the tracks on over and over again, and I think it's a hell of a damn good album for this band that's been around for 30 years or so, and they've done a really fantastic job with this whole thing. And they are coming to Chicago, but the thing is, I have tickets to a different concert on the exact same night, and I'm not entirely certain if I want to get rid of those somehow and try to get them off to another fan or whatnot, and try to pay twice the price to go see Bush at Allstate Arena, which is like 20 minutes away from me or whatnot. But thinking about it, I'm batting things around. I'm not entirely certain what I want to do in that regard. I really like to see them after this thing's really got me going, stuff like that. And I missed them. They were doing a tour with Alice in Chains a couple of years ago, but the day came and I really wasn't feeling that good. I was kind of dealing with a lot of fatigue issues and stuff like that, so I passed on going to see them, and I love Alice in Chains as well. So we'll see what happens. It's on like August 16th, but interestingly enough, I'm not going to many new films in the near future, but the day afterwards, August 17th, there's a theatrical re-release of the 35th anniversary of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, and I got my ticket for it. I know there's been kind of rumored that there's maybe a 4K restoration coming on, maybe from Arrow Video or something else like that, but I don't know if I ever saw the first film in the theater. I know I saw the third one. I have very clear memories of that. That's not the one I want to remember. But I don't even know if I saw the second one. I know I got the videotape for the second film on Christmas. I don't know if I ever saw the first two films in theaters. I have no memory of it. But like, if I get to go see this in the theater, I'll be very, very happy. So definitely excited for that thing. Because one night I was scrolling through Fandango, seeing like if there's anything coming out. Because I had a Fandango $5 reward to kind of redeem by a certain date. It's like I got to find something here, and I saw the entire thing, and I was like, okay, I'll go up for that and stuff like that. So there's that, and then like another week after that, I'll be doing the Warning concert on the big screen. So that's all I got going for the rest of summer in terms of the cinema. But anything like that. So regardless, I definitely highly recommend this if you like their music in the past, or if you're just like really good hard rock music, just like check out Bush's new album. It's really damn good. But something I grabbed out because we had this was during the Prime Day sale, but I didn't buy this from Prime. I got it from Groove.com because usually because that's all the stuff from Studio Distribution Services run by Universal, so they got stuff from them and Warner Brothers, a couple other labels here and there, studios and whatnot, and since when they have a deal on there, they usually translate over to Amazon, but I felt like I want to grab it from Groove because they're always really damn good on things, and they never have any problem with their shipments, deliveries, and whatnot. And I was talking to Steve. He was like, "Oh, well, this series is up on." And like, it's a really good price right now, but the thing's been up on Tubi for a long time. I don't know, but Steve said, "Well, one day probably won't be on Tubi anymore." And I'm thinking, well, you know what? I really like the series. I got these terrible fucking DVD sets from ages ago. And it's like, well, if the day comes and they're no longer available on something like Tubi where you can watch it for free, and I pass up this deal, which is like $50 some odd for it, I'm going to shoot myself right in the temple. So I grabbed up the Blu-ray complete series set of Babylon 5. And so, love the show. I bought the DVDs back in 2012, and I paid over $100 for it. I just spent less than half that to buy it on Blu-ray. There you go. And the interesting thing is, you're going to notice in a second, there's nothing in here. There's no discs in this thing, because fuck this entire, I didn't like, this was very cumbersome. I did not like how the discs were in here, and also, that thing falls out. And secondly, you'll notice they have the episode title, but they don't tell you any bit what episodes are on what disc. The entire insert is just a list of the episodes with no idea what disc which episode is on. So I realized that one, between that and the fact that this is actually a DVD size case for a Blu-ray set, it's like this looks stupid next to the Blu-ray stuff over here. It doesn't fit next to the DVD stuff. It doesn't look right next to the DVD stuff. So I went ahead, and there was a really good artist up on the Blu-ray.com forums that designed high-res artwork based on the DVD sets for the Blu-rays you could print out and put them into your own 4-disc Blu-ray sets. So I did that. I went off and did a lot of searching to find the right cases and a good price. I got them off of Walmart. Oddly enough, they were selling it and it had free shipping, so I figured this is the best price. And so there was 10 in a pack, so I only really needed technically 6, because they put on a bonus disc where they have the original TV pilot movie, The Gathering, which apparently it's not as well preserved and remastered as this. It's pretty much just like a full upscale, where it's been cropped down to widescreen, which is really not ideal in any type of way. And so I don't really need this disc, but I felt like, okay, I'll go ahead and print that one out too, and throw it in its own little disc. And some of these keep falling out of the little carriages every so often, but apparently it's not as good. And I do have the movie collection DVD set, so that's on there in its proper original aspect ratio. So, so yeah, this guy did great reproductions of the original DVD artwork, scaled down to the Blu-ray dimensions and everything like that. So, did a really excellent job and designed it for different size, thickness cases and everything like that. So, I'll put a link down below if you guys are B5 fans and you kind of don't like that. If you're not really hot on this bulky design or whatnot, or any which way, go check out the link and download the artwork and everything like that. It's really easy. There's no problems with it. I download them with no problems whatsoever, and print out on some decent paper in that regard. So look really, really good, really high res. So all that good stuff. So I've watched it plenty of times enough on Tubi. Usually when I'm kind of working on other stuff and just kind of throwing it on to kind of just have some background noise going on and whatnot, but I pay enough attention to what's going on. So last left off at the beginning of season 3, so I'll probably end up throwing this stuff in. I did throw in a disc for season 5, and it's like, this looks really good. I already knew that the regular live action footage with no special effects was already like scanned in like 4K resolution, so it looks excellent. Excellent type of stuff. I was looking at some of the stuff that was like upscale, like the opening title sequence. Like, this actually looks pretty good. Like, they didn't really do any kind of like major fudge, because like season 5, the digital effects and everything were so like they're the most advanced they'd gotten, so they looked really, really good. It didn't look like they did any kind of like DNR stuff or kind of weird smudging of the upscaling and whatnot. Why not? Just looked pretty clean. Looked pretty clean to me. So maybe the earlier seasons, maybe a little here or there. I think I've watched it before, and there was like some of the special effects shots in some of the earlier seasons were maybe a little bit kind of scrubbed here and there for cleanliness sake, to kind of upscale them and make them look good or whatnot, and not have a lot of like jagged artifacts here and there. But I think the stuff on season 5 looked pretty sharp, pretty good in that regard. And I love B5, and I've mentioned him before, but definitely go check out Phantasmo's YouTube channel, because he's fantastic. He's been doing a lot of B5 stuff. He's been dabbling in some other like Star Trek stuff, like old Star Trek stuff, TOS, and some Strange New Worlds and some other things here and there. It's like dabbling in that thing. So he's kind of keeping a bit of a wide net in terms of like the hot science fiction series going on at some points in time. So I really love his stuff. He's been doing, now that they've debuted the 3rd season of Strange New Worlds, he's putting out like a video for every single episode. He's already put out 3 of them, as we just had the 3rd episode debut. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched the 3rd episode of season 3 yet. I'm going to wait till the weekend when I've got a little more time. But he's putting out like videos really fast after they debut, and so hopefully that's going to help him boost the channel traction and whatnot. So really, really love his stuff. Been really supporting him for a good amount of time to watch his videos over and over again. So definitely in that regard. So B5 on Blu-ray is really fantastic, because the old DVDs are a real mess. They're a real mess, because the interesting thing is that the series was photographed on Super 35mm. because they were intending to safe-proof it for widescreen TVs coming down the line. So originally, in the regular, like, old CRT days, it was just broadcast in regular 4x3, but they did like a 16:9 safe zone on the entire image that they were photographing. Unfortunately, the digital effects were not processed in widescreen. And so the weird thing when they went to the DVDs, beyond the fact that they took them from PAL masters, they were converted from NTSC to PAL, then back to NTSC, problematic enough, but then they decided to present it in widescreen when the special effects are either have to be stretched or they're zoomed in and cropped. And they just made it for a fucking mess. It looks really bad in a lot of cases. These look way more exceptional. It makes the show look a lot better in so many different cases. So definitely recommend them go. So if you didn't get it up on that sale, hopefully another one will come around. But that was for like $55 after tax. Yeah, I just like, okay, I'm very happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. And I just realized I didn't mention the other film I was going to do in October, which would be The Hitcher. I kind of have this thing on the list for quite a long time. And like I meant to do it kind of like early in the year. And I just got a different track of doing other ideas for videos and stuff like that. I kind of like push it off. I figure like, okay, I'm at the point where it's like, okay, October is at least on the horizon to a certain degree. I'm going to push Angel Heart off. Okay, let me dedicate myself saying exactly, in October, I'll do a video on The Hitcher. So that will eventually come. It was kind of interesting thing that a couple months ago, the Second Sight limited edition actually showed up at the half price books down the road. I was kind of batting them around like, oh, it's about $40 some odd or whatnot. I was like, don't want to grab it. It's not there anymore. It's not. It went away. Someone definitely grabbed it up. I was kind of batting around, grabbing that thing and whatnot, because I grabbed just the regular Warner 4K edition, which doesn't have a digital Blu-ray, but I do have a friend who's going to help me out to acquire all the material that's actually on the Second Sight one. But I felt like for a second or two, or a minute or two, saying like, maybe I'll scoop it up and whatnot, but I didn't end up doing that and whatnot. But one other thing I want to kind of discuss, maybe a bit shorter range than I expected, is that in recent weeks, since I was kind of like, okay, I don't have a lot of time to really produce a video, I've been watching someone else's channel, Brendan McNulty's channel. He's a writer and author and whatnot. He's got just like all these videos about writing advice and everything like that, and breaking down different elements of different things about writing stories and scripts and whatever the hell it is, novels and everything like that. And I was like, it's got my mind turning about like, I want to go back and start working on scripts. So I delved back into my Vengeance feature film screenplay. So if anyone's new and hasn't heard the kind of short and sweet of the whole thing, it's basically a story, action film, where this syndicate hitman gets shot and left for dead, but survives, and then has to go through the entire criminal underworld of Chicago to find out who, but more especially why this happened to him. And so a lot of different things involved. This was a project 20 years ago I tried to do as a short film, but it kind of fell apart after a lot of logistics and various other people. Kind of became more of a disparate element or whatnot, and things just fell apart at that point in time. But it was very much like a 20-page script back then. Since then, I've endeavored to develop it into a feature film, which is about 146 pages now. And at a certain point in time, along the way, I've kind of equated to being what he is for Michael Mann is what this is to me in that regard. That type of story, that kind of Chicago crime saga to a certain degree. Not saying I'm anywhere on the level of Michael Mann, but saying there's influences from Mann, absolutely, 100% definitely, along with a lot of other things. But it's like, that's what I kind of, even though I kind of like sometimes like over the years, like, okay, take inspiration from like a John Wick or whatnot and various elements. It's like, it's not really that as much. There's plenty of action, the whole thing, and that kind of tenor to a certain degree, but it's not just that. There's a lot more wider, expansive world building with the entire story, where there's a lot more drama going on with a lot of different other subplots. John Wick films are usually pretty streamlined, kind of a very close, simple plot in that regard, with a lot of other just more exciting elements built around the entire thing. So it has a lot more intricacies about the entire thing, and so I've been working on it again, and I kind of was shaking up some ideas, and kind of, as I've gone through the last maybe about year and a half, I kind of like redeveloping some of the characters and kind of strengthening who they are, where they stand, and kind of re-envision them to a certain degree to kind of bolster who they are in the script, to kind of give them more substance overall. We're working on some other characters and kind of improving their arcs in the story and give a little more depth to what they are in the story, to have them live up to what I've always felt about the characters, but never quite felt like it kind of 100% kind of got that traction. It's more like, I really love the character, but I haven't really kind of nailed down the character in the script with the qualities I want to, because like I'd have like a short film other script that I kind of worked on that had a lot more stuff going on for the character, that had a lot more the history of the character, a lot more things going on, but kind of integrating those elements and those ideas into this wider script of Vengeance, felt like, okay, I really want to pin these things down and give that one character I really, really like a lot more of that depth and that interesting quality, and kind of grind out more of those little elements and kind of give those moments to the character that gives a little bit more beef for him, a little more heft to the character in that regard, to kind of give him more weight in the story and have his subplot move along in an interesting way that has where it goes, where they have the things that build up to where it goes, have a thread that feels interesting, intriguing, and stuff like that. So we're working on a lot of things to kind of make certain things, and kind of a thing I was kind of thinking of going through the script recently is like, I want to try and make some of these scenes do more than one thing, serve more than one master. So a lot of scenes like, okay, just this one scene moves this part of the plot along, and then this thing goes off these characters and moves that part of the plot along. So I felt like some things I could find kind of little nuances that kind of nudge other things along and kind of develop little other things as it goes through these main plot points, but so have these little touchstones and little other things that make it a little bit wider, kind of give it a little bit more peppering of seasoning to a certain degree, to kind of have those elements kind of weave in and out of the entire story that feel like they've been not quite as well integrated or kind of well addressed throughout the entire story. So I'm finding interesting ways where I'm like cutting out certain scenes, but kind of like reintegrating a scene or two and kind of maybe shortening and compacting some things and stuff like that. So trying to find the place to make things succinct and work the best they possibly can, and see the ways they kind of thematically roll into the entire story, and trying to find out where the balance is with certain characters and what things I really need for the story in certain places. So it's just all those interesting things, just refining the story so much. And like, again, it's been 20 years since I tried to do this, as when I originally put together the original short form script, and like, as the thing fell apart, there was maybe like about a year or so after that where I was kind of like trying to see if we could pull it back together or whatnot, but that eventually like wasn't going to happen. I feel like, okay, that project's done, so like maybe I'll just go ahead and just try doing this as a feature film screenplay. Not with any kind of intent behind it. It's like, okay, I just want to expand these ideas and see where they can go. And there's been a lot of different ideas have been kind of like, this subplot has been expanded out, but it's been majorly kind of constricted back down. It's like, I think it doesn't need to overtake so many different elements of the entire thing, or some other subplots get completely thrown out. There's a lot of things going back and forth all the time, and so the fact that I've had the freedom to do this as just an aside to everything else going on in life and all this time, just kind of gives that kind of perspective, like more things I kind of learn about storytelling and the various other things, the more I kind of develop myself about feeling about characters and telling stories and finding theme in the story and finding out how that connects all the different things together. So a lot of different things of loyalty and betrayal in the whole thing, and kind of like the idea of like, what does revenge really get you at the end of the whole thing? And that's kind of what does it do to the soul of the person and various other things. A lot of depth to the entire ideas here dealing with these characters. So I figured I'd just throw that out there as the conclusion to the video in that regard. So as I don't have anything else going on, when I have certain things where I'm like, okay, I don't really have the time or the energy or whatnot to kind of dedicate to making a video, I find other creative things to deal with in that regard. And as I kind of mentioned in the last one, like the entire thing of us trying to get that sort of noir thriller script to a certain degree put together as a short film is still kind of hanging in Nowheresville right now, because just a lot of things with my friend Eric. He's kind of has a lot of things that kind of unexpectedly came up in his life that are kind of absorbing a lot of his time and attention. It's like, okay, if we're all going to go forward to this, everything has to align in our lives to make sure that we can all dedicate the proper time to the entire creative process. So if he's off doing a lot of things and he's kind of distracted for different things, preoccupied, and things are kind of coming up as a little bit more unexpected, it's not a good time to do it because we've been there before. That's the project we were trying to do 16 years ago called P.I. Dangerous that I met Steve on. And like he was doing a lot of different other things that summer, and he was involved with a lot of things. Like he was shooting a lot of videography stuff that summer with getting a lot of money for a lot of gigs and whatnot. And it was just like, it was too complicated. It was too complex to kind of muscle around the scheduling and various other things. Like it was a very, very ambitious project. It was like, it feels like we just need to find the right moment in time where everything falls together. Because if he's off doing other things and things are just, he's not fully into the process, it's going to be detrimental. And we're not going to be able to kind of get things going at the pace we want to make sure we get everything in line. So it's just wait and see type of thing, see where things land and figure out what accommodates our schedules and accommodates everything like that. So it'll happen eventually, just finding the right time. So it's dragged on for, I know it's stretched on where I've mentioned it, kind of on and off for about a year now. And it's unfortunate, but just the way it is with life sometimes. So we'll see where that lands in whatever time it is that we have to take to get around to it. But it's been fucking hot as hell this summer. So maybe doing a lot of stuff that's like nighttime, even nighttime outdoor shoots. It's still fucking like 80 degrees at night. It might not have been the most comfortable thing and various other things. So I don't know. Maybe things work out better at certain points of time and things kind of come together when they need to instead of when you really want them to. So in due time. So guys, thanks for joining me on this entire update here. Again, we're getting out the commentaries for the Stand mini-series from '94. We talk a lot of stuff with Steve, discussing the novel, kind of the 2020 version of the mini-series, and a lot of other things. And we got a lot more to go in due time. But guys, hopefully you'll join us for that stuff very soon. If you haven't already, check out the Nighthawks video, check out the House of Wax commentary, and anything else that's been recently put out on the channel in the last couple of months. So guys, thanks much. There's always the Patreon to contribute anything monetarily every month. Super Thanks feature to contribute anything directly to YouTube, but also likes, comments, subscribing, sharing the links around. All that stuff helps to expand the channel, keep things healthy with the algorithm, and all that type of stuff. So definitely hit that notification bell if you haven't, and make sure you hit all notifications, not personalized, because personalized basically does nothing. So if you want to get notifications, whenever anything gets uploaded to the channel, hit all. So guys, again, thanks much. Take care. Bye-bye.